You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Team Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Rookie Blue After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Rookie Blue After Show.
What is that face? Junior high school.
Yeah.
8th grade dances.
Like this.
Keep your partner arms distance away from each other, guys.
Not too close.
Bing is for doing, and that's what we're doing here. We're doing another AFTERBUZZ after show for Rookie Blue, Season 4, Episode 8, For Better or For Worse. I'm Tiona Hobson, and joining me, I've got a full panel full of awesome ladies who I will let introduce themselves.
Yes. Hello, everyone. I'm Marisa Serafini.
Hi, guys. I'm Kim Dahlgren.
Hi, I'm Anik Dufour.
And I like how, for those of you not watching us right now, we have Team Blue over there with Kim and Anik, and Team Pinkish over here with me and Marissa. So it wasn't done on purpose, but I kind of feel like we're fit for a wedding.
We are.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's like bride side, groom side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Works out.
Why do we get the groom side?
Because blue is for
Girls
boys.
and boys.
I'm being very
I don't
sexist right
I don't
now.
really care.
I'm being very sexist and colorist, and blue is for boys. Yeah, I made that up. It's a thing now.
The word now.
Yes. All right, so let's get into tonight's episode because I'm really excited about Frank and Noelle's wedding. But before we get into that, let's talk about the crime.
Yes.
So the Bedford Health place has this senior trip, and we have a bus full of seniors who are going on a trip to the casinos, and their driver pulls over, robs them, and locks them inside of their bus. That's sad. He also, in the process, hits 2 of them. One guy's pass out. He stopped breathing at one point. They never went back to tell us what happened
What happened to him?
to him.
I think he was okay. I
hope
mean, they
he's
took it out on
okay.
the stretcher gurney type
They
thing.
mentioned
and-
he was in shock. I think at one point they're like, he's in shock. He's going to be fine.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
All right.
Hopefully he's good. So, of course, Nick and Andy were first on the scene because they're working together again today.
I know. I kind of like that. I was
yeah,
like,
they've-
they're partnered again.
Again,
This is going to be fun.
They keep getting partnered together, and I keep being okay with that.
Yeah. I'm okay with it, too.
I'm just okay with that. So throughout the investigation, because everyone's worried, well, mostly Andy's worried because she's so excited about this wedding that's happening at 6 o'clock. Everyone's supposed to get off at 4, so they're kind of in a rush to solve the case so that they can go get ready for the wedding. So the manager of the senior center, her name's June, she comes in, and we find out that the bus wasn't the normal company that they rent with. Someone called them and canceled the bus, rented another bus under the name John Doe. And
Like, if you're the other person on the other line, like taking the reservations, John Doe, I'm like, come
Red
on.
flag.
Yeah.
red flag right
Yeah.
there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, don't ask.
That's not credible.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not credible. And I guess because they didn't ask any questions, they don't really have to.
They're making money.
Yeah, they're making their money either way. So it's like, hey, we're not going to ask questions. That way when the cops call, we can tell them we don't know what happened. But at least get a real name off of people, you know?
Yeah.
Be a little helpful for the cops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, it's going to be a red flag for the cops, too. You know, you could have just, like, said, like, John, you know, I don't know, just come up
John
with, like,
Smith. It's a
Yeah.
It's a very
But it's a common name.
Yeah, it's a very
So then
common
it'll
name.
go, it would be, like, this whole, like, thing that they would have to go
Yeah,
through. But
it sounds made up, but
obviously-
it still is a very common name.
Yeah.
And a
Obviously, that's
historical
not.
name.
And that's your history lesson.
And that's your history lesson, kids. Our work here is done. No, so when they're getting everyone's statements back at the station, they notice that there's, a lot of jewelry missing, cell phones, especially people's wedding rings were stolen. There's 2 people whose rings were not stolen, Glenn and Eleanor. So that kind of raises a flag within Nick and Andy to question him a little bit more.
Because it shows like they kind of knew that they might
Yeah.
have got robbed.
How
Yeah.
convenient
That they
that
were
you're
gonna
not
get
wearing
robbed.
your rings.
Yeah. That you're not wearing any items that are worth a big
Yeah.
value.
Which, by the way, robbery 101, if you're in on it, make sure you have something that gets stolen because clearly you'll get it back because you're in on it.
Right.
So you have to fit in like everyone else. You don't purposely leave your stuff out or else
Right.
that's how they catch you.
Right. But they
Not
were
that
at the cleaners.
Yeah, they're at the cleaners getting
Both of them.
cleaned conveniently. So we find out that Glenn has a nephew. His name is James Ward, who has a little bit of a rap sheet already, and they work together to rob the bus because who was it? That cute old man, Archie. Archie, when they were talking to Archie, he was like, it's actually the perfect crime because you have all these old people on a bus who are going on their way to a casino, so you know that they have money on them.
Yeah.
They're dressed up in their Sunday's best, all this stuff. It's the perfect crime. So clearly it had to have been an inside job, and Glenn and Eleanor were behind on their payments, and
I thought that story was a little bit
It was-
sad.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it made me feel bad.
bad for them,
Yeah.
but no excuse.
Especially when he
Not
went
gonna
into
let
his
him go.
whole speech about, this is the easy part, you working and paying your taxes. And, you see it so often how people, I don't know, just life hits them and you have to do what you have to do to survive.
Yeah, I think it was interesting how they chose to rob other seniors because, it just shows how well thought out that they kind of planned this because it shows that seniors, they're most likely not to fight back during
Right.
robberies and it'd be easy to pull off, seemingly. Rather as, like, James Ward, even though he's a young guy and if he stole from other people from young age, it probably wouldn't end up as badly as it was,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that, like, if he stole from other young people, they would fight back, and he couldn't pull it off. So that's why they stole off from seniors.
Yeah, and I mean,
Yeah.
it seemed like he had a good job when they went to go pick him up. He was the only guy on the job who could fix whatever needed to get fixed that night. So
He's still waiting up on that
he's-
tower.
Yeah.
apparently he never came down. Well,
Okay.
I guess he did.
He was on
because
his way down.
He came down and then
Shot back up
he
there.
shot back up there,
Yeah.
but there's no other way down. So
If I was Andy and Nick, I would have waited until he was fully off the ladder and then confront him, and then not just wait for him to partially get down the ladder.
yeah,
Yeah.
You trap him and then question him.
because you already know it's him because his uncle already said, yes, we did this and we were supposed to split everything evenly. So wait for him to hit the ground, start,
Yeah.
hey,
Have him grounded.
yeah. Maybe
Before-
move a little closer so that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
grab on.
if it were me, I would have shot right back up too. It's like, but
I just
or
need
I
a
would have
minute.
jumped on. Yeah. But that's another show. Another story.
That's different.
that's just something that happens after a wedding.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, Steven. Yes.
I went there. My bad. Before we get into the wedding, if you guys aren't watching us live right now, please go on to iTunes and rate us. Leave us a comment. Give us 5 stars. Tell us what you like about our show and how pretty we are. Yeah.
Except for me, who currently looks like a cast member walking the
You're
Walking
still
Dead.
beautiful.
Thank you.
No matter what you say. And then since you're already online, make sure you check out YouTube and leave us comments there. I love reading all the comments every week. We've gotten some great predictions in our conversations that we've had with fans on there. And make sure you check out Serial Buddies. It's a hilarious movie that was produced by Kevin Undergaro and Maria Menounos. And it's basically Dexter meets Dumb and Dumber. It's hilarious. It's about a bunch of serial killers. So you're into crimes already because you're watching Rookie Blue. So you might as well go watch a funny serial killer buddy comedy.
Very funny movie. And this episode was actually really funny.
Yeah, this episode was
There's
really
a
funny.
lot of
too.
comedy in this episode.
Yeah, I liked it. Let's talk about this wedding.
You know what I loved? I loved the whole bromance between Oliver and Dove.
Yes.
And how Dove got Archie to get him a suit and stuff like that. It was so cute. I love Archie. I want to be his friend or something.
And set up the date with celery.
Yes.
he forced
was really
him
cute, yeah.
to call
Make
celery.
the call. I think they're cute together.
I like
I
them
like
together.
them. It was nice to see Sally come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a little eccentric, and I think Shaw could really use someone like that in his life right now. So yeah, I really like Shaw and Celery. I kind of thought that she was actually gonna leave when she was like, "I'm just gonna head out." When he was talking to his ex-wife at the wedding, it's like, "No, don't go, don't go. He wants you. She's horrible. We don't like her. We're Team Celery.
No, we don't like her. And I like
Hashtag
her
Team Celery.
Let's make it trending."
We totally should. I like how Celery went up to Ollie's ex and be like, "Yeah, my name's Celery, like the vegetable, kind of like the food that your kids don't eat." And she's like, "You know what, my kids."
She kind of got all like Mama Bear on her for a second.
Defensive.
She's like, "What do you know about my kids?" Whoa, sorry.
Back it up. Hold up.
Just making a joke. It's okay.
But it just goes to show that Celery is so opposite of what his ex-wife used to be. And I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm blanking on her name. And-
Zoe.
Zoe, thank you. And Zoe seems like this really cold person, and Celery's just this eccentric, nice, outgoing kind of person. So I think that's what Ollie needs in his life.
I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah. I like them together.
I like
I
them.
want to see more of Celery.
Team Celery. It's trending now. So just to backtrack a little bit, Noelle, it's the night before her wedding, and her and Tracy and Chloe and Andy are, at the wedding venue, and it seems like not much has been done, and I think we just got, I get it.
I spelled my name wrong. Come on, Steven.
It was on purpose.
Serafini.
For those of you listening on iTunes, Steven just put up a rookie red and blue.
Team Blue.
On the screen.
Hashtag Team
Now
Blue.
you guys got to fight.
I like them too much to kill them on air.
On air. Thanks.
I don't need the video evidence. So Noelle being the type of bride that I would be, it's the night before and nothing's ready. It's kind of a mess. Everything's
There are no flowers.
there's no flowers.
No
there's
decorations.
No decorations.
They haven't even done the name.
Yeah, the names. But don't worry, because Andy brought her own calligraphy pen.
Yeah.
Because Andy is really into weddings.
Oh, she loves it.
She loves it. I love that how involved in the weddings she is.
She has like her own. She already has like her bridesmaids dresses. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it just goes to show that because Annie didn't have that wedding that she wanted and planned out with Luke, she's kind of overcompensating with Noelle's wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that it shows that because, all the girls on this show are police officers, so, they're stern and like men almost, but this gets to show off their girly side, especially Andy being so into weddings. It's like, okay, they are still just like you and me. And I like that. So then we get the call that first we get the call that Sam has to go be Frank's best man because Frank's brother had to go
Missed
off.
his flight.
Missed
Missed his
flight
flight
from
from
Jamaica.
Jamaica. Typical brother stuff. That's why you can't.
I mean,
trust
but you would
boys.
think that he would have flown in. I don't know. Like when I go out of town for weddings and I go back home and stuff like that for weddings, I
days.
usually fly like the day before, not like the day of, the morning of.
Your brother's
It's
wedding.
like- exactly.
especially when you're coming from Jamaica,
Yeah.
coming from out of the country.
Yeah.
So you might want to make sure that you get there in time. So I like how Sam kind of went to step in and, he dropped everything. He was like, all right, you guys got this case? Cool, because I'm
outta
out of
here.
here. So then while he's there showing Frank how to tie a bow tie, he gets the call from Tracy that Noelle never checked into her hotel. No one from her family has seen or heard from her all day. And basically she's not around.
MIA.
She's missing.
We've got a runaway bride on our hands here. Which is,
So we think.
yeah, so we think. Tracy's able to track her down at her old place. Wasn't that hard to find her?
Way to be a detective.
Yeah, way to
Yeah,
be a detective. Good thing she had that spare key, which she had to, oh my gosh. So Steve Peck is with her this whole time.
Yes.
I forgot to mention that.
Offers her to drive around all day.
Yeah.
Because
Drive
her
her
car
around because her
blew up.
car, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that too.
How sweet.
How chivalrous of him.
Yeah, I'm going to take a personal day.
What a man.
Who said chivalry is dead? Go on, Rookie Blue. There's gentlemen all over the place. So then we find out when we track her down that Noelle had a doctor's appointment. She had a mammogram, and they found a lump. Haven't gotten the results back yet, but, you know, her sister and her mom have both died from breast cancer at a very young age. So she's been waiting for this practically her whole life to come up. So she doesn't want to put Frank through that. So instead she decides it's better for her to not marry him and leave town and leave Olivia behind. And was she going to come back for Olivia, guys?
I sure hope
Yeah,
so.
I'm sure. But I mean, at the same time, it's like she's gonna take Olivia and just like run.
No, she was leaving
No, she was
Olivia with...
Right. No, but I mean,
Oh.
she's gonna come back for her. I mean, Frank's eventually gonna like, you know, track her down, find out what's going on. So he's eventually gonna figure it out.
I mean, it sounded like a very impulsive, just kind of fearful move on her part. And obviously she realized that while they're, were you going to the airport? He's kind of like,
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
she
Running
talked
on-
her ear off.
I like the whole reverse psychology. Be like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm gonna take you here and here and here. If you don't want to be with Frank, all right, I'll take you to all the places you want to go. And then she realized, oh, this is the place I really wanted to be. Is
Yeah.
with Frank. I like that. That was smart on
was
Doug's
Yeah.
part.
And it kind of shows how different Steve and his sister are.
So
Yes.
Because, you know, he just, I mean, I've never heard Gail talk that much ever.
But he's
Yeah.
the positive.
Yeah, he's like
person.
more of a
Yeah.
positive person.
He's
Like,
very optimistic.
yeah. So I liked seeing a little bit more of him and the dynamic between him and Tracy, and him eventually saving the day by getting Noelle to her wedding on time.
Yes.
And then I love the conversation that Noelle and Frank had together.
Yeah.
Outside the venue when, you know, she's still freaking out. She's like, no, I can't do this. And he's like, baby, it's just me.
it's just me.
Yeah. Aw.
Steven, don't laugh.
Sweet.
It was a very tender moment. I teared up. My eyes welled. Okay? This is serious right now. All I hear is you giggling
I
back
think
there.
it was really sweet because I think Noelle should realize the man that she was going to marry.
Yeah.
If she was not going to, if she was going to marry a man who couldn't accept the fact that if she got cancer and wouldn't stick with her through sickness and health,
Right.
then she shouldn't be with him.
Exactly.
And that was the one thing, you know, she said the reason she was leaving is because Frank would marry her regardless.
Yeah.
And that's exactly who you want to marry you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you already know you have this great guy. You have a beautiful daughter together. You've been through so much already. He even said, what did he say to Sam? He said, oh, you know, because Sam asked, like, how do you know? And he said something along the lines of, if she makes you a better person, then
Right.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And that's what Noelle does for him.
Aw. Do you think Sam kind of just like, oh, Andy type
I
of thing? Did he think of that? Do
I,
you think?
I kind of felt like Sam was feeling Andy because Marlo's in Miami.
Marlo's
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
She didn't go to the wedding, and there's a lot of talk, especially Shaw at the end, who he was kind of like, man, don't miss your shot. And then that's right as Andy
Cuts over to them.
Yeah.
Him
Yeah.
looking over. Yeah.
him looking over. And then Andy and Sam had that conversation briefly. You know, where she was like, oh, don't worry, I'll save you a dance. And it's like, oh yeah, you and weddings, of course you love them. So I don't know. I'm
Yeah, and I'm kind of upset that the episode, not to jump ahead, but the episode just ended there. We didn't really
I
get to
know.
see anything afterwards.
yeah.
Because we hear all these promises, oh, I'll save you dance and whatnot, but we didn't see it.
I know. I was
What
kind of
really
hoping that
happened?
we'd see a lot more of the wedding as opposed to like the whodunit type of thing.
I thought
Especially for this episode, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think I would have liked to see more of like the wedding. Maybe put like the whodunit like to the side.
that's what I was kind of hoping for. As the
go
episode was
pretty
going
quick.
on, I thought
Yeah.
that the whodunit was wrapping up very quickly. So I was like, oh, we still got like 20 minutes worth of wedding
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
But then Andy and Nick got stuck waiting for that guy to climb down a ladder.
Lord.
I was like,
Yeah.
man, now I'm missing out on the wedding because I want to see them at the wedding.
But you got to see a little bit of Andy and Nick, kind of something going on.
Yeah,
we
what was
did.
that? So, what song were they listening to? No, they were listening to
one?
the wedding in the car.
They were, yeah.
in the
because-
car They were gonna miss the wedding, so
On speaker.
on speakerphone they
Duff
have
put himself on speaker.
Duff. Nothing else could go wrong. So he's playing it for them on the speakerphone, and they're listening to the vows and everything, and then that's when Nick finally says what everyone's been waiting for. At least 3 out of the 4 of us have been waiting for it. I'm looking at you, Kim. I'm looking at you.
I know. They're cute together. I'm not gonna lie. It's growing on me. So,
Yes. Well, Nick finally confesses
Yeah, that was sweet.
that
And when he
she's
said
magical.
That, 3 of us just gasped. We're like, oh my God, he just said that. Oh, that was sweet. We were waiting for it. That was
Yeah.
a long time coming.
But their conversation got cut off,
Right.
which I was
That
mad at.
guy knocking on the window.
That guy. And then they get a chance to talk a little bit more, but they talked in code mostly when they were on the hood of the car, and she's
Yeah.
like, so what do we do now? And it's crazy, right?
Well, then she
Yeah.
kind of put it on hold once they got to the wedding. She said something like, "I need to think about this," or it was
gotta
something
sort
like
through
that.
her
I need
feelings with
time or
Sam.
something.
Need some
She
time.
says, I need time.
But she looked hot.
She did.
She looked gorgeous.
She looked gorgeous. They walked into that wedding, and
Both together.
both together, she's got 2 guys' eyes on her.
Yeah, but even when you can see when Sam's looking over, and you can see when Nick walks away, that they're just looking longingly into each other. That there's something there.
Of course there is.
It may not
Absolutely.
happen now, but
Yeah,
it's
no.
definitely gonna happen.
She's got to figure out, she's got to drop Sam because she's still kind of like, oh, I'm waiting for Marlo and Sam to break up so I can get back in there. So once she realizes, at least until that happens, go have some fun, girlfriend.
Yeah.
You and Nick.
I mean, I think she still has feelings for Nick, too. I think she might be confused. But I hate the whole, give me time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for giving me time. I mean, Peter, or Nick in this case, I should say. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Well, if you think about it, they were together for 6 months over the summer. It's been about 2 months now since we've seen them. So that's 8 months. Come on.
Right. And we still don't
that's
know
a
what
long
happened
time.
in those 6 months,
No, we do not.
which is really annoying me.
Well, she didn't seem, I feel like, too shocked or surprised or anything when he sort of confessed to her. It got broken up with the guy climbing down, and then, but when they came back together to sit on the hood of the car, it felt very almost natural. Like she
It wasn't awkward.
Right. Yeah.
Which normally probably would have been a little awkward.
Right.
I think that when he said it, it's something that she maybe has not really thought about because she hasn't wanted to take it to that place because of their relationship and their friendship. But now that he said it out loud, now she's like, crap, now I really have to think about
Confront this.
and
Yeah.
separate my feelings from what's real and what was just the undercover job.
And then Nick says the line, "I got all the time in the world."
Why are all the boys on Rookie Blue breaking my heart tonight with all their cuteness? All their one-liners are just
Very good writing, maybe.
I guess these are the guys that will wait out for you. It makes me feel like there aren't a lot of guys out there nowadays that won't wait.
Yeah.
And these guys will.
gotta go to Canada, man.
Canadians.
Montreal.
Or date a cop.
Toronto.
Or
just
date a
date a
cop.
cop.
LAPD.
Yes, exactly. Speaking of dating, Gail had an interesting date for the wedding. So first of all, let's talk about how she was just being Gail Tsunami throughout this.
I think
She
her hair's
was
too tight.
hilarious.
She needs to loosen up
She
her
needs
hair.
to-
It goes to show
gets-
it reflects her personality. She's
It's
very
true. That's true.
uptight.
She's uptight. Yeah.
She's uptight. She was just kind of bitching everyone out. Old people who, they have a bicker. Who are they? Constance and Walter.
They were cute.
They were cute, and they're the bickering friends. But that deep down they actually love each other because
Friends with
they've
benefits.
they've been friends for 40 years. They've been doing this. You don't stick around someone who you fight with like that if
Yeah.
there's not true love there. But she's mean to them. She's mean to everyone who just says anything to her.
She's so deadpan about it, like, you're old.
Come on.
So rude.
But as Constance is leaving, she gives her some words of advice, you're too young to be so cynical.
Yeah.
And I was like, there it is. That's what Gail is.
That's what I wrote down. I was like, Gail is really cynical right now, and I kind of liked how they paired Chloe and Gail up tonight.
Yeah.
The two complete opposite
Complete
kind of
opposites.
women together, and you knew that wasn't gonna end up well.
Yeah, so then we get to the wedding and we find her date, Holly, in the coat room. We all know what happens in the coat room. Freaky things happen in coat rooms
We
all the
saw
time
what
at
happens
weddings.
in
We
the coat
see
room.
some
Yeah.
things that we saw were them maybe a little inebriated, drinking some wine, and Gail still asking a lot of questions about how lesbian
champagne.
relationships work.
Yeah.
You know,
Shows that she's kind of interested.
she was very
Yeah.
intrigued by it, so Holly kind of shuts her up by kissing her. And I don't think I've ever seen Gail that speechless before.
Yeah. Right.
She's kind of like, what? Just, and then Holly just gets up and leaves.
But the thing is, it didn't seem forced. It seemed
No.
like natural conversation. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, just let it happen.
Like maybe Gail's met her match.
I think she
Yeah,
has.
I think she has too.
Someone who can put up with her at least.
Oh, I like that.
Can challenge her a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
And,
I would definitely challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely challenged. And one of the fans on YouTube, I believe, were just saying that, this is someone who doesn't know anything about her past or all the drama that happens upstairs. Forensics is all downstairs, in separate departments. So it's good to have someone who doesn't know anything about her, have someone to kind of like vent to and start a new friendship because she needs a friend.
And she does.
Yeah.
And I said that last week too. She needs a friend. So yeah, I think that about.
Can we talk about like the first scene of Nick and Andy together in the car? And they're just Andy's just singing, going to town, singing that one song that supposedly drove her crazy, but she was really enjoying it. It made me
Yeah.
think, oh, they have a song.
Yeah, and it kind of goes with like the situation that they're kind of in if you listen to the lyrics.
Yeah.
Please sing it for us.
No.
I thought you were gonna give us an example. No.
She's so comfortable around him, and it goes back and forth. It's so it's
Comfortable
kind of
and natural, and she just wants to make him smile because he's still very like mellow tone, and so she's just like goofing around, like, "Hey,
Hand on
partner,
the face."
hand on the face." It was very cute. So
But it goes to show that like they really do just generally enjoy each other's presence.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
have fun
Definitely.
with each other.
I liked how, before we move on, I liked how Dove went and told Frank that he was dating Chloe.
yeah.
And he's like, "You're what?" I thought that was really cute.
I like that he didn't want to say it, and then because of everything that's happening with Noelle not being there and Sam just walking away, Dove's just like, I'm dating Chloe. And then before Frank can really absorb that, then Tracy comes in and like takes him away because Noelle's there. But that was a fun scene too.
I think that was actually good on Dove's part because if he dropped that bomb on Frank, Frank would have been like, I have other big problems. There are bigger fish to fry, you know? Then it's like, that's the least of my worries.
Yeah. Frank might not even remember.
Yeah.
Plus, during their first dance, then Dove and Chloe were out there dancing right next to them. So
It's a night of love.
it's a night of love, so you can't really do anything. But maybe there'll be some repercussions later on.
Maybe we'll see some extension of the wedding afterwards. Like what happened, some aftermath.
Some
Perhaps.
people waking up in a hotel room bed together that didn't remember
What happened?
what happened.
Oh, please.
Maybe we'll get one of those scenarios. I don't know. Let's get into our news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
I actually have news. I have pictures too. I don't know. Steven, did you get those?
Probably.
Let me check.
Okay. I try to speak. Okay, don't judge. I try to speak to Peter who plays Nick on Twitter as much as I can.
It's
Just
not
as, like,
stalking. It's total research.
A girl can
and-
dream, okay? No, but he mentioned, and actually he's like, "Thank you for mentioning this," and because I told him I was going to mention it tonight, and I'm going to send him the link that he actually wrote a short called Method, and it was directed by Gregory Smith, who plays Dove, and it also stars Matt Gordon, who plays Oliver, and Paul Day is the editor. Katie Bolin is an she's in it as well. Kevin Crix is the producer as well as Sonia Hosko, and it's a really short film. It's like 7 minutes and 30 seconds. It's short, and it's a comedy, and it's actually just. It says the description of it is just isn't. It says today just isn't Officer O'Shea's day. His witness won't cooperate. His hangovers pounding, and his confidence is wearing. With the pressure mounting, he must take extraordinary measures to get a confession. So I guess he was like undercover type of thing. Anyway, it's supposed to be a comedy. It's supposed to be really good, and it is premiering at the TIFF, which is the Toronto International Film Festival, coming up. So if you guys are in Toronto, go check that out.
And let us know how it is.
Yeah,
that
definitely.
sounds cool.
Yeah.
And I had pictures, but apparently they're not up.
We'll put them up on the
We'll put them up,
website.
yeah.
So if you guys want to go on the website and check those out, that would be great.
Check it.
Any
And I
other
think that
news?
was it from me from News and Gossip.
All right.
Anybody else?
Nope.
Let's get into our predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So next week's episode looks pretty intense. If you didn't watch the preview, then spoiler alert, Diaz is back.
Spoiler alert!
Yeah, I didn't leave you time to play that. My bad. My bad. But I said it. Diaz is back. The reunion is not going to be happy for long because his son is kidnapped.
Right.
Dun, dun, dun.
Loving
I'm
the
all of a
sound
sudden
effects.
confused right now. I'm like, what's going on?
So, what do you guys see happening? I know we were talking about it outside before we
Right.
came
It's
in.
funny because I was out last week and I was in the chat room and watching and stuff, and there were two, and I can't remember. I'm sorry, you guys' handles, what your names were, but one of the fans that was in and was talking said something about how the son who gets kidnapped, Diaz's son, who gets kidnapped, is actually kidnapped by, he thinks, it's a prediction, he thinks that he's
Real.
kidnapped by his biological father. So that's how it's all going to go down. And then I was talking to you guys about it, and I was like, ooh, that sounds like really good.
I really
So I could
like
totally
that.
see that.
I could
totally
see that,
going.
and
Not the father.
I like it. Andy, let's be smarter, girl. We don't leave children in cars alone. Even if you're
Yeah.
turning your
Not
back for
even
2
for a
seconds,
second, no.
you don't do that. You take them with you. That's called motherhood.
I do think, though, that something's going to happen next week between Andy and Nick. I don't know what, but I think because of that, it's going to bring them together.
Yeah, I was just gonna say they're gonna fight and argue over this whole thing that's gonna go down, but ultimately it will bring them closer. And then I think Diaz realizing, like the people he left, the whole division in 15, he's gonna like, I really do miss you guys. Since I'm not the father, I'm gonna come back.
Yeah.
There you go.
Kim.
I am hoping Diaz comes back as well, but I'm going to predict against you guys with Nick and Andy. We'll see what happens. They're not going to get together. My prediction.
I think that they're going to get together. And that I still am going to carry over my prediction from last week that Marlo is going to go batshit cray. And
Next
when-
episode or this season?
this season. Maybe not next episode, maybe the episode after.
Okay.
Because I think next episode is going to be when Sam is really going to figure out that he wants Andy. Andy's going to be like, but I have Nick now. And then Marlo's going to come in and be like, Sam, you don't want me anymore, so what's up? And he's going to break up with her, and then she's going to go batshit cray.
Marlo's going
Okay.
to get back from Miami and see what's gone down since she's been out of town.
A lot can happen in a few days.
I'm excited. I want to be a part of next week.
Next week seems like a more emotional.
I want somebody to kidnap that kid.
show.
He has to come back. I was like,
Anyways, so let us know what you guys think. Send us your predictions. Talk to us on YouTube and on iTunes. Where can they find you guys on social media?
you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Justinique and my website, anikdufour.com.
I am on Twitter at Kim Dahlgren.
You can follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at Serafini TV.
And I'm on Twitter and Instagram at the Tiona Hobson. So, guys, it's been fun. It's been real. And we'll see you next week.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AFTERBUZZTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AFTERBUZZ TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.